What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the PlayAction podcast. I'm Aidan O'Hara, and of course, I'm here with Vinny Jackson. Vinny, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Aidan. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, we just had our first week of the NFL season.
It's
already
crazy.
done.
And honestly, some pretty good games.
I would agree. There was a lot of good games. Some, bad games.
Expected, yeah.
I would argue that all of the primetime games were actually primetime games.
We got a Thursday night. We got Friday night, Sunday night, Monday night.
I mean, that's a bit of a lineup.
Yeah, best one in my opinion. I mean, we'll get into it, but probably the Chiefs game.
That game was ending
a nail biter.
I mean, yeah, it kept us watching the entire time. That was a really good game. I had no complaints. And then, all the other games, I didn't get to watch a lot of Sunday because of work, but I got to watch a second slate of games. So, my fantasy team won.
Yeah, he put up a big week. I got the win too. It wasn't as pretty, but hopefully your guys' fantasy teams are doing well.
Yes.
And we can get started with the podcast. We can go through a bit of news, do some fantasy guess the player, talk about some of these games. Then I've compiled a little bit of trivia.
A little revenge
for
trivia.
Aidan, but nothing too hard. And then we can talk about the next week games. So,
all right, let's go to the first one.
All right, guys. So let's start off by getting into some player news. And this one, which at the time of us recording last week wasn't an issue, but McCaffrey, pretty last minute, ended up not being active.
Yeah,
for the 49ers.
That was it really wasn't like a huge loss for them as we saw in the game, but for at least fantasy owners, that's a huge hit.
Who was the backup?
Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason. He put up,
he had a game.
He had a huge game. And we'll get into that game probably a little bit later, but he is again kind of questionable week to week now. So they're going to have to monitor him. But if you were able to pick up Mason, then you shouldn't be worried.
Huge.
And next talking point can be Jordan Love. We saw him. Aidan probably has a lot to say about it, but we saw him go down the second to last play when they were just getting a Hail Mary drive. So, do you kind of know what the situation is for that?
From what I've seen, there's a chance that he comes back within 3 weeks, maybe even 2 weeks. He'll only be out. So that would be huge for the Packers, especially because Malik Willis as our backup quarterback probably ain't going to do too much. But, it was so annoying. We were already probably going to lose. It doesn't help. That field was horrible. All the players were agreeing that field was absolutely terrible. So
yeah, they were slipping like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm surprised more.
I know. It looked like more players probably should have gotten hurt, but it's really annoying, but I think he'll be fine. The Packers will be fine.
Yeah, they still got some, and they had Malik Willis. I didn't even know he joined them, but
yeah, they just traded for him
one
of the last weeks.
A young guy. Hopefully, he's been taking some notes from Jordan Love.
I hope so.
We'll see how they do.
Yeah, we'll see.
Moving on to a pretty random signing that I just saw on Instagram was Kadarius Toney got signed to the Browns practice squad.
The practice squad is crazy.
Yeah, his fall off.
He went
needs to be studied.
He was one of the not most promising, but he was a very promising receiver for the Giants.
I think he just was over. He had a stretch of 3 or 4 weeks, and he was really good in fantasy. So people were hyping him up, and then Chiefs, he just fell pretty
apart.
Bad.
That was horrible. And then not ideal.
Who even knows? Yeah, who even knows if he'll get called up? We'll have to see on that. But getting into just some more injuries related to the last week, Puka Nacua got placed on IR, so he's out for at least 4 weeks with a knee injury.
It didn't look that bad during the game.
I didn't get a chance to see it.
He went down, and it didn't look horrible, but I guess maybe it was. And I'm a Cooper Kupp fantasy owner, so I'm not complaining.
You kind of got lucky there. Unfortunate to see for them, for Puka and the Rams. But moving on, at least for my fantasy team, David Njoku suffered a high ankle sprain in the game. I don't think it was too severe because it says week to week. So unfortunate, very unfortunate there.
Yeah,
he's always fun to watch. And then getting into the Dolphins. I mean, we didn't talk about this. I guess it's worth mentioning, but Tyreek Hill got arrested on the way to the game.
And then he had a crazy game, of course. Pulled a little Scotty Scheffler there. Getting arrested.
Everyone I think probably bet on him. I placed a bet on him after.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you saw the body cam recording.
Yeah, I thought at first I saw the headline. I thought it was just like
it was like bad.
He just got like pulled over for speeding. But yeah, he got like
thrown to the ground.
Thrown on the ground. There's like a ton of videos of it. So
yeah.
I'm not sure. It looked like he was complying too.
I think his manager wants those policemen fired.
I mean, I'm sure most of Miami probably would be on their side because they all love Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, not a good look. But
yeah, either way, moving on with the Dolphins, Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert both missed practice.
Yes.
I think yesterday with Achane with an ankle injury and Mostert with a chest injury.
Wow.
So
I mean, I don't even know who else they have.
I think they still have Jeff Wilson.
Do they still have him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget who else, but I mean, in that last game, Mostert, I had to start him. He did
not do it. Achane got all the touches.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens with that running back duo. Also, another running back, Kenneth Walker. Suffered an abdominal injury. I think he left the game early.
I've seen that he's had problems with that in the past, so that could be something worse than a week.
His injury last year, I forget if it was the same injury.
Yeah, I kind of forget what it was, but that could be a bad injury.
Yeah. So luckily I do have Charbonnet on the fantasy.
That's a good little pickup.
Yeah, so we'll see on him. Hopefully he's all right. And then a couple more guys to mention. Marquise Brown obviously was absent from the last game, but he is nearing return. Again, possible to come back this week.
Okay.
So I have my fantasy team. I do want to see him play, but I mean, it is gonna get pretty crowded in the locker room with Rashee Rice, Worthy, Kelsey.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to kind of fit everyone in there. Hopefully it steps up.
We'll see.
Because they like their speedy guys.
They do.
Also, Jordan Addison, I threw in here, was also questionable to play, as a Pitt alumni.
Yeah.
And last two I put on here was Roma. How do you say it?
Roma Adunze.
I've never pronounced it.
I think it's Adunze.
Adunze. I never pronounced it before. But the rookie, he suffered a MCL sprain in the Bears game. So I think he is due to miss some time. And T. Higgins, who was absent, there's still no word on him with his hamstring injury, which, Joe Burrow, may have missed him.
Yeah.
Definitely missed him.
Yeah, definitely missed him.
So, yeah, those are the, noteworthy injuries, at least for fantasy. So, make sure you're staying up to date on that. And then into some Guess the Player.
Yeah, let's go to it. All right, so for Guess the Player, here we go.
Oh.
Last year you would do this a lot to me, and I feel like I did pretty good, so let's see how you can do.
We'll see. Usually I always just look at my team.
Yeah.
So
what we're going to do is we're going to do basically whatever player we talk about will be the game we'll talk about. Because I chose players from big games, so we'll see how you fare.
All right.
First off, 154 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. And I can give you his, it's a running back. I'll give you that. I can give you his...
Does he know receiving yards?
Would you like me to give you his receiving yards?
Yeah. I need the full fantasy point breakdown.
Receiving yards, he has 3 catches for 19 yards.
21. So that's 21, 20. That's about like 26 fantasy points if I'm thinking. From a running back, who... Breece Hall didn't get that much for me. I think Achane was around there. So he's someone I'm leaning towards right now.
Okay.
I know Mason had a lot more, or he had more touchdowns. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anyone else that had a big week. Saquon had more touchdowns. I think I'm gonna go A-Chain.
It is not A-Chain.
What?
It is Joe Mixon.
Okay, A-Chain I know had 26 fantasy points because
I think he did. He was definitely up there.
That was my bet. But yeah, Joe Mixon, he had a big week for
game.
you.
Yeah, and this game, Texans versus Colts, ended up being a really good game that at least I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought it would end up being like a blowout, but they kept it close. CJ Stroud continuing his, really good streak, 234 yards, 2 tugs, and then Joe Mixon, 30 carries, 159
He got
yards.
a lot of volume. I mean, I remember last week saying I didn't think it'd be a blowout because I was pretty optimistic for the Colts.
Yes.
And I would say the offense looked pretty good. Anthony Richardson.
I would say so. 3 total touchdowns.
2 of them were just the one was a deep bomb to Pierce. I think it was Pierce. And also he had another huge catch. Pittman didn't get pretty much anything for my fantasy, sadly. But also, he also had a rushing touchdown, too.
The only really bad thing is, under 50% completion percentage. Like to see that up a little bit. But other than that, a really good game.
Diggs also had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, only 6 catches, only 33 yards, but 2 touchdowns. Nico Collins did remain that wide receiver 1.
He was one of your busts.
Yeah.
So he already 2 touchdowns on the season. A little.
That's true.
A little sus.
But both my busts, him and Richardson, did bad. Did good. So,
exactly.
Yeah, not great for me, but yeah. So that was a pretty good game, and now we'll move on to another one. All right, in this game, this player had 9 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown. A really big game from this player.
Okay. Yeah, I remember looking at some of the stats before this. 1 touchdown. Okay.
9 catches. It's a lot of catches.
And how many yards?
111.
Okay, so I know it wasn't Waddle because I had him. I'm thinking of Tyreek Hill because I know you had him. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how many fantasy points he would have had. I know Cooper Kupp had more receptions. Tyreek Hill's who's coming to mind to me right now, but I'm trying to think of who else would be up there. Let's go with Tyreek Hill.
It is not Tyreek Hill.
Really?
You keep guessing these Dolphins.
I thought you were going to want to talk about that game.
This is actually Isaiah Likely of the Ravens.
I totally forgot about him.
Yes, had a surprising, really good game. And this Chiefs-Ravens game, crazy. Isaiah Likely would have had more points if he got his foot in bounds on that one play.
If he was 1 or 2 shoe sizes smaller.
Yeah.
It came down to just it was like the Kevin Durant 3-point shot.
Yeah.
His shoe just barely on that the last drive with 0 seconds left.
Yeah, and this game was very surprising, especially for the Ravens when it comes to fantasy. 1, Derrick Henry, other than the touchdown, not much production. And then Mark Andrews getting completely outshined by Isaiah Likely. Mark Andrews had 2 catches for 14 yards.
Mark Andrews is he was coming off he was in a car crash earlier in August. I remember reading. So he wasn't severely injured or anything, but I think they were still kind of monitoring him. So it's not fully time to panic if you have him in fantasy.
I would agree.
Isaiah Likely was on our waiver wires, and we had a few teams trying to tank in order to get him, which I think's a little jump in the gun, a little too much.
I would agree. But then, of course, on the other side of the ball, Chiefs did win 27-20, and Mahomes, he had a pretty good game, did have a pick, but pretty good game. Rashee Rice played really good. Who knows what will happen to him? He might end up maybe going to jail. And then Xavier Worthy in his rookie game played very good. 2 touchdowns, over was at almost over 80 yards total. So really good game, or over 70 yards total, sorry. But overall, this was a very good game, entertaining throughout the entire thing.
And I'd also like to point out, Tyreek Hill actually did also have 26 fantasy points. Because he had 2 less catches but 20 more yards.
Okay.
So I don't want to get hated on for that. That was still a good guess.
Okay. We'll see if I'm sure you'll get one of these guys. All right.
I don't know. You always try to I try to make stuff guessable.
This one should be very easy.
Because I also, for the audience too,
All right, I think everyone should be able to get this one.
Dude, don't.
24 for 30. This is a quarterback. 289 yards. 4 touchdowns.
Oh, 4 touchdowns. Okay. So I'm immediately thinking.
There was only one quarterback to get 4 touchdowns this week.
Okay. I'm immediately thinking of the big games with. It's either. Okay. I could be totally wrong, but it's either going to be Derek Carr because the Saints blew out the Panthers, or Sam Darnold because the Vikings are. It's going to be one of those two. I think.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of, because one of those guys had to have gotten 4 touchdowns. I can't be.
4 touchdowns is a lot, and only one quarterback has gotten it. So
I think are you trying to say it's not one of them?
I don't know.
Is it passing touch?
It's passing touchdowns, only passing.
Okay.
I can give you this quarterback's rushing stats if you'd like.
Sure.
3 rushes, 21 yards.
Okay, because I know Josh Allen. I think he had 3 passing touchdowns because they were in the 30s for once he get a rushing touchdown. Okay, that amount of rushing yards, it's got to be one of those two. Okay, I'm saying. That's great. It's probably gonna be wrong. I'm saying Derek Carr.
No, it is not. It is.
Bro, they scored 47 points.
It is Baker Mayfield.
Okay, I wasn't even thinking of him.
Yes,
I forgot he
had himself a week. I mean, that stat line is already crazy. He spread out the ball really well. Mike Evans was eating. Chris Godwin was eating. Rashad White was eating. And then, yeah, they just played really good overall. I think they're low-key a sleeper team this year. I could see them.
Yeah, they were shown potential last year.
Yeah.
Also good to point out, Bucky Irving was the leading rusher who I did draft in fantasy over your. He had less carries too. He had 62 over Rashad White's 31 with less. It
would be like they wouldn't even block for Rashad White, but then the second Bucky Irving got in, they would block for him.
He's this little explosive guy.
He is very explosive.
Hopefully he takes a big step up there.
Yeah, and then on the other side of the ball, Jane Daniels in his debut, 17 for 24, 184 yards, and no touchdowns, no interceptions, but 2 rushing touchdowns off 88 yards on the ground. And their leading receiver was Austin Eckler. Which, I mean...
He only had 10 rushing yards.
Yeah.
He only... Looks like he mainly was...
Yeah, so... Not great, especially when Terry McLaurin only had 2 catches for 17 yards. But overall, very surprising. Tampa Bay Buccaneers might be a team to look out for.
I mean, especially in that division, too.
Yeah.
I'm confident in them.
So, we got 2 more players left.
Okay.
See if you can get, I think you're going to get one of these two. You're going to get one of these two.
I think we just have different thought processes of picking players.
All right. Next up. 147 yards. This is a running back.
Total?
147 total rushing yards. 1 touchdown. Or no, it's 120 or 47 rushing yards. This player also had 5 receiving yards, but he had a touchdown. 147 rushing yards.
Oh, okay. I was going to be thinking of Mason, but he definitely had more than 5 receiving yards. Is that true?
I don't know.
That's the.
I'm not in charge of this.
That's the person that's coming to mind. But I think he had around that amount of.
That is a lot of rushing yards.
I mean, if I'm trying, he had to have gotten more receptions. Did it say how many receptions?
Yeah, he had 1 reception.
Because we were watching that game, I just remember him doing more. So
who knows? Your mind could be deceiving you.
147. And it has to be a game we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
So, I think you're trying to trick me here.
I don't know. I don't think
I'm just looking over the teams who I think would have had. Wasn't James
I think you know what this player is. Who it is.
Mason? That's my guess.
Yes,
okay.
It is Jordan
I was
Mason.
overthinking it a little.
Yes,
I remember hearing that number.
I thought he had more receptions as well, but it turns out he didn't. And, I mean, he had a hell of a game. 49ers take down the Jets 32-19. And, you know, Brock Purdy played his classic Brock Purdy offense. Doesn't really do anything.
You're just a hater. You're just a hater.
Every single time he passes to someone, they're wide open.
I mean, I think I heard the announcers talking about it, but I think he's, like, coming up to have a contract.
Yeah, he is.
So, like, I'm just wondering, like, I wonder what, like, the numbers on that are.
It can't be one of the highest.
If you look at his record and you look at
yes.
how the offense is working. Like,
yeah, I'm very curious.
I don't know why they wouldn't want to, like, get rid of him, obviously, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the.
I don't know.
I mean, Dak Prescott, I didn't mention. I think he just got a contract for
I think he did. Yeah, he just got the
in like the 200
record.
millions.
Yeah, highest paid player ever. Crazy.
So, yeah,
never won a playoff game. Come
really?
On. No.
I don't know how you let that happen.
Yeah. But then on the other side of the ball for the Jets, Rodgers didn't play great. 13 for 21, 167 touchdown interception. So really not great. Breece Hall did pretty good, 54 yards and a touchdown. And Allen Lazard was the leading receiver with 89 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I know, that came out of... I mean...
They only had 5 different players catch the ball. That is not good.
I mean, the defense was not giving them much time at all. I mean, they even took out the starters, put Tyrod Taylor in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I forget... Did you say the Jets were going to win this? I feel like you did.
I did.
I think I think you were jumping the gun a little on the Jets. I mean,
they have some talent.
They have some talent. I mean, this is obviously like probably the most stacked team too, to be fair.
Yeah, I think the 49ers are a very tough team.
Yeah, so
I got faith they'll bounce back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say two very good teams, but yeah, 49ers, I mean, after this game they could be probably my NFC favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Definitely. All right, and now for the last one. This one I do think you will get.
Okay.
I'm almost 100% positive you should get this one. We got 109 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 catches, 23 yards, and a touchdown. This is a running back.
Okay. How many rushing yards?
109.
Okay, it's definitely Saquon.
It is Saquon. Yeah.
Big game against Aidan's Packers.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely torched us. We thought we were going to be getting a new defensive, scheme to stop the run. It's the same old thing. And yeah.
Depressing. Yeah, you were pretty depressed in this game.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of bright spots. Jaden Reed, crazy game, leading the league in receiving yards with only 4
those
receptions.
Are 2. I mean, he had the big and the 33-yard run, the big jet sweep.
Yeah, so he played very good. Josh Jacobs, not horrible, 84 yards on the ground and 20 yards in the air. That's honestly a pretty good game from him. But yeah, really disappointing. Bad field. I think a couple calls went the Eagles' way.
Yeah, I guess I did see some of those.
But overall, kind of disappointed. But I think we'll bounce back. Once Jordan Love comes back, I think we'll be back.
Eagles still looking great.
Yeah, they look... I mean, Jalen Hurts had a bit of a sketchy game, but if you have Saquon, I mean, you can kind of do whatever you want.
He's a crazy, crazy pickup.
Yeah, so that's all the guess the players we got. And like some of the other big games, Cowboys kind of crushed the Browns. Lions win in overtime against the Rams. Caleb Williams wins his first game, even though what did he really do?
Yeah, they didn't even have any offensive point.
Yeah, just not good. Bengals lose to the Patriots. That was a crazy game.
Steelers.
Steelers.
Steelers also no touchdowns.
Yeah, no touchdown
Chris
win.
Boswell. Steelers win.
Yeah. Saints win 47-10 against the Panthers. crazy. And those were really just, a lot of, fairly close games. A couple blowouts, but, that's what you like to see. So, but yeah, that's all we got for this week's score. So I guess we can move on to some trivia now.
All right, guys, let's get the trivia going. So
right.
I never know how hard to make these.
Okay, yeah.
We'll see. I know you have ball knowledge, but it's hard to.
How much
really,
ball knowledge do I have?
Yeah.
Is the question.
So also for the viewers to play along, I think this is kind of a little bit of a throwback inspired trivia.
Okay.
They're pretty random questions. I think you'll get most of them, but they are multiple choice. But I'll see if you can get them without the multiple choice, and then I can give you some hints or something.
I like that. Let's see.
You might. I don't know. Okay, there's one of them I know you're two. That might be very hard. Okay, first one, and this is not in any order of hardness.
Okay,
so they're all over the place. Okay, first one. So there's 2 defensive players to have won MVP.
Okay.
NFL MVP. Can you name one of them?
Lawrence Taylor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
1986. The other one was Alan Page, who was a lot earlier. I didn't know him.
I don't think I think he played for the Vikings, I want to say, but I don't think I was going to get him. But I do remember Lawrence Taylor. Not that I remember him winning.
I did not remember that.
Yeah. So,
okay,
1 for 1.
This one, I think you also know, but the NFL team with the most Hall of Fame inductions.
I actually think this is a surprising answer that most people would not realize. I think it's the Bears. Right?
Is that your guess?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears.
It is the Bears.
Yes.
Do you know the amount?
68?
I think it's 39.
Oh, gosh, that's never close.
So, yeah, I don't know who's second off the top of my head, but
I would guess Packers are up there.
Packers, Steelers, and Cowboys were all, the next options there.
Yeah, I just remember seeing, it was the Bears once, and I was like, that does not make any sense. But they've been around forever, so...
All right, 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Already doing better than Vinny last week.
Yeah, because I'm a fair interviewer. Okay, next one. The youngest quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. I want to say Big Ben. But I don't know. Big Ben is the first name that comes up off the top of my head. And honestly, that's what I'm going to go with. Big Ben.
That is correct.
Is it actually? Let's go.
He was 23 years old and 11 months.
I remember he was the youngest player to ever, I think, win a playoff game. And so that kind of just led me, because he won a Super Bowl his second season or something, right? So, okay, let's go. 3 for 3.
Right. You may get them all. Okay, next one. Who is the first player in NFL history to throw over 5,000 yards in a season?
The first one?
Yeah.
Okay, my mind instantly goes to Peyton Manning. I know he's done it. Drew Brees, I think, has done it. Tom Brady's done it. Mahomes has done it. I want to say Herbert's done it.
So the first.
So I'm going to go with Peyton Manning.
That is incorrect. He was one of the options, but do you want a hint, or want me to just tell you?
I bet. Let me think. Is it an old head? Is it before Peyton Manning's time?
Yeah,
or
it's
before?
An old head in the AFC.
Oh, an old head in the AFC. It's not gonna be like Terry Bradshaw, is it?
No.
Okay. Older or younger than him?
I think younger.
Okay, so in between Bradshaw and Manning.
I think so.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Oh no, who is it?
It was Dan Marino.
Oh, Dan Marino, yeah. Oh, that shit.
I wouldn't have got that one.
Pitt legend Dan Marino.
Not bad though. You named all the other 3 multiple choice guesses.
Okay, because
so
I knew all of them did it, but dang. Okay.
All right, next one. There's actually two, I believe. Which two teams are tied for the most Super Bowl losses?
Ooh. Okay. I think Patriots are definitely one of them. I'll lock that in. Right? Patriots is one of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Other one's a little bit, I don't think you'd think of them.
My mind goes to Bills and the Vikings, I know, have a lot of losses in the Super Bowl. So those are my first two thoughts. I think it's going to be one of them. I'm going to go with the Vikings.
That is incorrect. You did name the other two multiple choices for this.
Okay.
But it is the Denver Broncos.
Wow, really?
With five losses.
I don't think they ever would have came to mind. 5 Super Bowl losses. Wow.
That is, yeah. I wasn't going to think
tragic.
Of them either.
And they only have two wins.
The one was.
I guess John Elway was just cruising them to the Super Bowl every year, is what I would guess.
Yeah, I think so. Because they won the last time.
Yeah, they won the 50th.
Against the Panthers.
Yeah, 50th Super Bowl. I think that was 50th. Right?
I think.
But,
all right. 50% on that one. Not bad. Next, okay, I think you should get this one. Who holds the record for the longest NFL field goal made?
That's Justin Tucker.
Do you know the yardage?
66?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty recent.
Yeah, just having against the Lions to win the game.
Was that last 2?
I think that was 3 years ago.
Dang. Time's going fast.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy if that was 3 years ago.
I think we've reached Unk status.
Yeah.
If that was 3 years ago.
If that was 6 years or 3 years ago, it's from 2021. That was 3 years ago.
Dang.
Dude, that's crazy.
Still kicking field goals.
That's actually crazy.
All right, last one. This one's kind of random. I don't think you'll know this. Which NFL team was the last to integrate and have an African American player on their roster?
Oh gosh.
So the last team to sign one to play in a game.
Gosh. I mean, I would think Cowboys, something like that, or just any
Southern team.
Yeah, any Southern team, but I feel like it could be a trick and it could be a Northern team. Is it Southern or Northern? I'll ask that.
Like division wise or on the map?
On a map.
I'd say Northern.
Oh, what? Okay. I'm thinking maybe Patriots. Maybe Bills. That's a weird place where maybe there just isn't many, just white people. Screw it. I'm going to go with the Bills.
The Bills? That's incorrect. It is actually, formerly the Washington Redskins.
Wow.
But, yeah, that was
Washington?
1962.
1962.
I was looking at it came up, and I was like, I'll just throw this in, even though...
1962 actually is, a lot, luckily farther back. Because I think in some southern states, they didn't get rid of segregation until, 90s or something.
What was Jackie Robinson? What was, the MLB?
I want to say he was 60s, around there, probably. Let me look that up. Jackie Robinson, say first game. I would guess 47.
47. So
wow.
NFL was tailing behind a bit.
A little bit. Okay.
So would you only missed 2.5?
I'll take that.
2.5 questions. Pretty good.
I'll take that.
For a throwback. Hopefully you guys could play along at home and did as good.
Okay, let's go to predictions. All right, to wrap up this episode, we're just going to run through some of our predictions for the next week. Last week, Vinny did better than me. This is a yearly.
Nothing new. I can see. If only I gotta start doing those parlays. I don't know what it's called, but the parlays are allowed to miss a couple or whatever.
I don't know how it is. every year you somehow manage to beat me. So
I don't know. You're the guy with all the ball knowledge.
Maybe I don't. So
I was 13-3. You were 10-6. I know I picked the 49ers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you picked the Chargers. It looks like.
Yeah, I got Chargers over you. You got Vikings over Giants.
I had the Steelers.
Mm-hmm. And then the
Eagles. Okay, we'll see. Yeah. I haven't really looked at the schedule.
Oh, and you have the Saints. Never mind. Not Saints. We both had Saints. Okay, so Bills at Dolphins up first.
This is a tough one to. What are your first?
I'm going
thoughts?
Dolphins.
Really? I'm going Bills.
The Bills looked a lot stronger. Bills.
They started off very rough.
Yeah.
Again, Cardinals got up pretty big, but then we saw them.
Yeah, they started
turn
tanking.
On the burners. And Dolphins with the running backs possibly questionable.
Yeah, that could be.
Who's home? Okay, Dolphins are home. Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm confident. Hey, you sure you don't want to change your answer?
No,
I'm always right.
I'm confident.
Okay.
This game I'm very confident in. 49ers at Vikings. It's going to be the 49ers. I mean, if the Vikings beat them with Sam Darnold,
I'm with you.
We got some thinking to do. Next up, Seahawks at Patriots. Sneaky Patriots win, maybe?
I mean, the Patriots were doing...
They were doing pretty good. They beat the Bengals.
I think that's going to be a little bit of a... to skew people's opinions. I still think the Seahawks are...
I want to go Patriots so bad, but I'm going to go Seahawks as well.
Patriots are home, though.
Yeah, so...
Let's see.
Giants at Commanders. After seeing the Giants last week, if the Commanders lose this game...
Yeah, I don't know how you picked the Giants winning. But,
I don't know why. I just... Every once in a while, I'll just have this... weird gut feeling
it's because the Giants because you're biased towards the Packers. You don't want to see the Bears when you don't want to see the Vikings win.
There's a chance of that. So, all right.
Chargers at Panthers.
Once again, if the Chargers lose this after seeing what the Panthers did last week, they got some thinking to do.
Yeah, there's pretty big skill gaps in the NFL these days.
All right, Saints at Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here.
Yeah, Cowboys. I mean, Saints were piling on the offense, but Cowboys' defense is much better.
Agreed. Colts at Packers.
Oh, see? Now, this is one of those games.
I'm going to go Packers.
I'm going Colts.
It's probably going to be the Colts.
No Jordan Love.
I think it... Actually, no. I'm going to go Colts as well.
No, dude, you're a Packers fan.
I'm done with it. I'm going Colts. Browns at Jags.
I mean, Deshaun Watson.
He looked horrible.
Yeah, the Browns did not look good. You got to go Jets.
Yeah. Jets at Titans. Titans didn't let up an offensive touchdown, but I'm still going to go Jets.
I'm going Jets as well.
All right.
I think they'll have a much easier time than the 49ers.
Ooh, very good game. Buccaneers at Lions. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
Oh, I was honestly thinking of doing that too.
I think they got a chance.
Their defense looked really good. I'm gonna go Buccaneers too.
Okay.
I was thinking them.
Raiders at Ravens.
Yeah.
Gotta be Ravens.
The Raiders, not a hot start. Rams at Cardinals.
I'm gonna go Rams. They held it up with the Lions.
Cardinals were holding up with the Bills too.
Yeah, they're both gonna be pretty good.
I'm going Rams. I like how they're looking.
Bengals at Chiefs. Gotta be Chiefs.
In Arrowhead.
After last week, gotta be Chiefs.
Yeah, Joe Burrow needs more elite receivers.
Yeah,
for sure.
Steelers at Broncos. Should be Steelers.
It is at Mile High, but Steelers,
I think the last game was too.
I mean, both the
Seahawks.
Bo Nix, TJ Watt's gonna get to him.
Yeah, he's gonna eat him alive.
That game.
Bears at Texans. I got Texans in this one.
Yeah, not much to say there. Texans.
And then another one with not much to say. Falcons at Eagles. The Eagles should tear them apart.
Yeah, they were struggling versus our defense, so Eagles should give them a hard time.
But yeah, that's all we got for this week's episode. Hopefully, another good week of football to come. I'm expecting another good week. We got some good games in here. I'm very excited about.
Yeah, starting off with Thursday night too.
Yeah, Thursday night game is gonna be very good.
Episode should be out before that game this time. I think we hopefully got the schedule down.
Hopefully by Wednesday. I'm hoping. We'll see.
Yeah,
don't quote me on that.
Stay tuned.
But
Hope your fans teams are doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Leave us a review, comments, things you want to hear in the episodes.
For sure.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.